All right, David, before we get into it, what is one thing that you thought about business that reality changed fast?
Probably the biggest lesson I learned in business quick was how much you can accomplish in your first year, right? I thought I could go from 0 to 100 in that first year, and reality taught me I could go maybe 0 to 10. So learning that you're not going to accomplish as much as you want to in that first year, and that you have to be persistent for the next 5 years or so, that's probably the biggest lesson I've learned.
Man's got to know his limitations, right?
He sure does. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Kanawha Valley Hustlers. This is Joe Justice. I'm here with Dave. Dave, tell me, what's your hustle?
The drone industry. I'm doing everything I can to bring the drone industry to our state here in West Virginia. Everything from training first responders and public safety guys to flying people autonomously around in the air between, through our state and all the way down the coast.
Wow, what got you into doing this?
It's always been a passion. When I got out of the military, my dad played golf and he flew remote-controlled airplanes. I hate golf, so I wanted to spend some time with my dad, so I decided to try to start flying remote-controlled airplanes with him, and it turned out, it was fun and I enjoyed it. And after I was finished with a career in the corporate world, I decided to jump into drones on my own. It was a passion, and it's something I wanted to expand on.
And with your business, what kind of problems do you solve?
The biggest problem, my passion, what I want to solve, what I kind of want my legacy to be, is missing people. Right? I want the drones to be able to find anyone who's missing quickly. So parents missing their children or missing elderly people that have been lost. I want to be able I want to provide a solution to that, so everybody can get home safe.
But with that in mind, also, there's a ton of applications for drones. Is that right?
Just about any industry, and I've challenged people to give me an industry that drones could not be a part of. And there's not very many industries that drones can't help benefit, especially at the rate the technology is growing for drones right now.
It sounds like a lot of people still kind of think of them as kids' toys, but that's not necessarily the case, right?
No, they went from being thought of as kids' toys to where we're seeing them on the battlefield now. We're seeing them helping first responders find people that are missing, find people that don't want to be found. We're seeing drones now starting to deliver packages, to make life a lot easier for people. And eventually, I think soon here in West Virginia, we're going to see drones participating in rural healthcare, which is going to be a huge benefit for all of our elderly people that live in the rural areas that are hard to get to.
So when it comes to your business, what's a mistake that you made early on, and what did you learn from it?
Well, it's hard. I made a lot of mistakes, so it's hard to kind of nail down the one that hurt me the most. I think the one that hurt me the most was probably buying equipment and technology before I had a need for it, thinking that it would be needed soon. And what I've learned is to wait until the market's ready or before I've got gainful employment in a part of the industry before I buy that equipment.
What was the signal that you figured out that you needed to make a change?
Loss of revenue. When your bank account starts to go down, that's a pretty clear indicator that you've got to change something, if you want to stay in business.
Also why a lot of entrepreneurs need to understand you got to keep an eye on your money, right?
Absolutely. And one of the biggest problems that I met early on in my entrepreneurship experience was I have to pay down that ignorance tax. A lot of people aren't even aware of the ignorance tax. Anytime you start something new, you have to understand you're starting from zero. And there is, we just don't know what we don't know. Yeah. And the only way that we're going to be able to solve these problems is by pushing it day after day after day after day. And Alex Hormozy, a guy that I follow, calls that paying down your ignorance tax.
Yeah. Your biggest problem you have is the one you don't know about, right?
Absolutely.
So what's a common misconception that people have about your industry?
There are several. You touched on one. People kind of still see drones as toys, and they're not. They're flying robots now. We can use them for so much to collect data more efficiently than just about any other means possible from the air.
Is there any industry that's not? There's agriculture. What are some other industries? What are some other areas? Search and rescue. Some other ones that drones actually touch.
Well, another area that I'm pretty passionate about now is your commercial exterior cleaning, right? So there's drones now that can actually clean high-rise buildings without lifting anybody off the ground, and it's just so much safer, it's so much more efficient, and it's just a better way to do business.
All right, rapid fire questions. What's the best $100 you ever spent on your business?
Best $100 I ever spent on my business was probably Facebook ads when I started out.
What's the biggest waste of money?
Probably Facebook ads when I got them wrong.
Ignorance tax, right?
The ignorance tax, absolutely.
What is one skill that every entrepreneur must have?
Now, I'm going to go a little off the common path with this one. I think the biggest skill that an entrepreneur needs to have is to be able to do the boring stuff over and over and over, day in, day out, for months, if not years on end. That skill, being able to do the boring things, is what's going to pay you off in the long run.
Not having that shiny object syndrome, right?
Right, absolutely. And I think that hits a lot of people hard when they first start their business. Everybody's excited. They think it's going to be great. And then it kind of gets to the mundane, the day in, day out routines that you have to follow. But, at least in my opinion, that's the key. You've got to be able to do the boring stuff consistently and to the best of your abilities.
Perfect. And what is one new skill that you've been working on recently?
New skill that I've been working on is tech development. I've recently partnered with MITRE who's a nonprofit DoD federal government contractor, and I became a manufacturing partner with them to bring some of their federal tech to the public market.
Great. All right. So as we're kind of wrapping up here, tell me, Dave, what is one belief, one principle, one concept that you stand by, even when all of the haters tell you that you're wrong?
That drones are going to change the world. I truly believe that they're going to make the world a better place, make our lives better, make our lives easier, find people that are hard to find, and there are a lot of naysayers that think that's not going to happen, and I stand firm by that.
All right, how can people get in touch with you if they want to learn more, learn about what you're doing, about your academy, or more about drones?
They can visit AppalachianUAVAcademy.com. Of course, we're on Facebook. Appalachian UAV Academy has a Facebook page. And of course, my office number is 304-743-9490. Feel free to give me a call, even if you just want to talk about drones. If somebody's just curious and wants to learn, I can talk about drones for days on end. So feel free to reach out.
No better way to learn than to ask, right?
Absolutely. That's where it starts.
Great.
Right?
Awesome. Dave, thank you so much for joining us here today. Thank you for watching and listening. Remember, this is Joe Justice, the Kanawha Valley Hustler, reminding you to hustle hard, hustle smart, and hustle with a smile.